Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Once again, back at it now. As you can see, I've been pumping out the AES videos at a rapid rate because the adversary, he's going on a full-scale offensive when it comes to the propaganda campaign and the information war. So we got to come back with the counter-offensive every single time, right? Every single time, man. Crazy. Anyway, reporting for duty once again. Today we're going to be talking about the foreign minister of Mali, the foreign minister, the good brother, Abdoulaye Diop. And obviously, as the foreign minister, his job description is not only to interface with foreign governments internationally, but also represent the country in international organizations, negotiate treaties and agreements between foreign countries, oversee the embassies internationally, and basically promote and protect the interests of the nation, right? The foreign minister in the United States, the equivalent of that is Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. Now, the good brother, foreign minister Abdoulaye Diop, today we're going to be reacting to some statements that he made in response to the French director of intelligence. You remember sometime last week, I dropped 2 videos reacting to certain statements made by the French director of intelligence, Nicolas Lerner, on the national radio in France. On one interview, he said that he believes that the terrorists do not have the capacity to take the capital, right? Because, you know, the propaganda for the past couple weeks, oh man, the capital of Mali about to fall, Bamako about to fall, right? Also, something else that he said in his interview was that he finally admitted, he acknowledged the fact that currently right now, there is an agent of the French intelligence that is currently locked up in Mali and has been locked up for at least 3 months. He actually acknowledged that on the interview.
Je veux avoir une pensée pour l'agent de la DGSE qui est actuellement détenu depuis 3 mois, nous en parlons tout à l'heure, au Mali. And I want to spare a thought for the DGSE agent who has been detained for 3 months, as we mentioned earlier, in Mali.
All right, we back. Now, let's jump straight into the article. As you can see by the headline, according to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abdoulaye Diop, the rise in violence is a result of externally sponsored terrorism. He said, our populations have understood the scheme. They understand the game. They are not fooled. The minister said on the sidelines of the BAMEX 2025 Defense Expo in Bamako that we must not think that we are simply facing terrorist groups. He also alluded to how the current surge in violence is a proxy war in disguise. He said, this is a proxy war in which certain powers, which are cowardly and cannot confront us directly, are using terrorist groups and asymmetrical forces to try and fight us. He mentioned that the powers he was hinting at are trying to slip back in through the window what they could not obtain through the door. Now, you know what's so crazy? Yo, I know the family be watching the channel because I've said that before on the channel. I've literally said word for word. You kick them out the front door, they try to come back through the window. Yo, listen, shout out to the family. I know you watching the channel. I know you watching. Anyway, now this interview was held at what they called the BAMEX 2025 Defense Expo. And I guess this was, you know, they were showing a bunch of, you know, armaments, armored vehicles, weapons, assault rifles, basically like a convention affair, showing all type of military defense equipment, you know, having fun, you know, shooting artillery, things like that. And keep in mind, this event was held when they said the capital was about to fall, right? When the international media, the French media was going around saying the capital is surrounded, it's about to fall, this event was being held. And at this event, it was defense ministers from all different countries came out to this event, right? The defense ministers from all various countries came out to the defense expo in Bamako, and they said the capital was about to fall, and they were just chilling, shooting artillery. Man, listen, crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna get into the video of the foreign minister, you know, calling out the French director. You know what I mean? Listen, we got to talk to these people. Anyway, obviously, I'm gonna translate it to English, and we're gonna come back. Let's go.
We are in a proxy war. We need to understand this once again. I say we must not think we are just dealing with a terrorist group. No, it's a proxy war where certain cowardly powers, unable to confront us directly, use terrorist groups, asymmetric forces to try to fight us and come back through the window to get what they couldn't obtain through the door.
So we need to understand this very clearly.
Who benefits from Bamako falling? And who wants Bamako to fall? Why do they want Bamako to fall? When we answer these questions, we will understand why, despite all the successes we achieve, these terrorists continue to be there. These terrorist groups that have drones, where do they come from? Who makes them? Who gives them? In areas where people can't eat, who gives them these shiny 4x4 vehicles, all these resources? I believe that when we answer this question, we will understand that in reality, recently, I even saw yesterday the head of the French intelligence service who was on television and said that he does not think the terrorists can take Bamako. That does not tell us anything. He is the only one who thought that, not us. And that is not even their intention to take Bamako. We say, oh, really? So you know their intention? How do you know their intention? Is it you who gives them this intention? Is it you who commands it? Is it you who decides? This can help you understand how far we have today a collision between hybrid forces. In reality, it's not terrorists, it's a proxy war. But I can assure you that Mali will endure. Mali will get through this difficulty. We will hold on, we will move forward, and we will continue to face this.
All right, we back. Now, as you can see, it's not the first time that the foreign minister has acknowledged this, but once again, saying it publicly, especially during this coordinated information propaganda campaign by the international media, along with, France and her allies and things like that. He said that this is bigger than just simply a fight against terrorism or just, local groups on the ground. This is a proxy war, right? These local groups on the ground, they have international backers. They have external sponsors, which we already discussed before, which you already know for a fact. Because logically, when you think of how these guys are able to maintain a prolonged multi-year campaign of instability, and you're talking about guys, out in the bush, out in the country, a lot of them are child soldiers, no education. How do they have the international connections to obtain these resources in a landlocked country? And then he went on to say, indirectly, but speaking directly, that this is sponsored, this is backed by foreign powers, certain foreign governments. We're not going to say no names, but we know who we talking about, that are too cowardly. Yeah, he said, you're too cowardly. You're too much of a, I was about to curse. I was about to curse you out, but you're too much of a, let me relax. But yeah, you're too cowardly to come out into the field and face me like a man to man, right? And it's so funny because I was watching this French journalist the other day, and this lady was speaking about the military capacity of the AES and the military capacity in Mali, and how she's surprised how ever since the French left, she's surprised at how the military capacity of the AES has grown in such a short time, right? They were there for 10 years and the army was garbage. But as soon as they left, now all of a sudden they got all type of equipment, all type of drones and aircrafts and weapons they never had before, right? I think this lady was, what's her name? Her name was Patricia Alimoniere. And yeah, so she was talking about the military capacity of the AES, and I'm about to get into that clip. And really, like I said, it's really embarrassing for the French, because just in that video I dropped last night about how there was a region in Mali when the French were deployed in the region, it took them, they were there for 10 years. They couldn't take back the city. As soon as they left, within 15 months, the Malian army took back the city after the French left. So you were in the region for 10 years, couldn't do a goddamn thing. You were totally ineffective. As soon as you leave, all of a sudden, the cities get retaken back, right? The commanders start getting killed, right? So what were you doing the entire time? But anyway, let me get into this clip from Patricia Alimoniere, saying what she was saying. Run the clip. I'll be right back.
Mali has still significantly strengthened. It has bought lots of weapons. It has bought tanks. It has bought planes. It has helicopters that it didn't have during the French era. So it is somewhat more operational, even if it is divided, they argue. And there is indeed a power crisis, but for now, it still holds.
All right, we back. Now I'm going to play the original in French, because sometimes the detractors, they want to come in and say, oh, that's fake. That's AI. They didn't really say that, as if your boy Neferkari Dessalines doesn't take his credibility extremely seriously. So I'm going to play the original in French where she was saying the exact same thing. Run the clip. I'll be right back.
Malienne s'est quand même énormément renforcée. Elle a acheté des tas d'armes, elle a acheté des chars, elle a acheté des avions, elle a des hélicoptères qu'elle n'avait pas du temps des Français.
All right, we back. Now, one thing I want to go back to what the foreign minister said. He asked a very important question. He said, we must understand who benefits if Mali falls, if the capital falls, who benefits if Bamako falls, right? basically saying, don't focus on the propaganda and the headlines, focus on who benefits from such a scenario, right? You got to ask yourself, who is the winner if Mali collapses into chaos? Who is the winner if they can say that Assimi Goita's government failed? Who wins if the AES fails, right? Who is the beneficiary of such a scenario? And then you can think of who might be orchestrating or organizing or sponsoring, certain activities that's going on in the country to lead to a predetermined outcome. In their minds, they think so anyway, right? So, and he also asked an important question, a question that I ask all the time. How are these so-called criminal organizations, these terrorist groups, able to sustain their so-called campaign of destabilization? He even said that despite our success, the terrorism still continues, right? Even though we've captured many towns back. We took back Kidal, one of the main strongholds the French couldn't take back in 10 years, boosted up the military, arrested foreign intelligence agents, right? We strengthened our alliances regionally and internationally, but yet the terrorism keeps getting refreshed. The terrorism keeps getting refreshed and renewed. It never stops. Why is that? Who is sponsoring such criminal activity in the country? Because these guys out in the bush don't have the capacity to maintain it by themselves. He even said, even in places where people don't even got food to eat, somehow these guys got all type of resources from overseas, right? All type of bikes and weapons and ammunition. Where'd you get it from? We don't got no gun factory in Mali, right? He's asking very important questions. And keep in mind, depending on the geopolitical scenario, we've seen France directly align themselves with certain terrorist groups in Africa to achieve a geopolitical objective, whether that might be the toppling of Gaddafi in Libya, or whether that might be how they were also playing both sides, claiming to be fighting against terrorism while covertly aligning themselves with certain terrorist groups in the north of Mali when they were deployed in the region, right? Would it be so far-fetched for them to once again activate these so-called terrorist groups, which they've previously employed as military contractors to achieve a geopolitical objective? In this case, the toppling of Assimi Goita's government. And like we mentioned before in my video about the French director of intelligence, he even said that the objective of the terrorist group known as JNIM is the toppling of Assimi Goita's regime, right? So it's funny how the terrorist groups and the French government have the same exact objective. They have the same exact goal, right? It's funny how the terrorists and the French government are aligned in their goals, right? It's just very interesting to me. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. But anyways, I'm not going to be here too long, man. I'm not going to be here too long. It's your boy Neferkari the Salim back in the Billy, yes indeed. Second single off the next project, The Spy in Bamako. Pin comment at the top. Support the Patreon, NTD 1814. And I'm gone. Peace. Feel like a see me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yan in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in the savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in Burkina. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy try but I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in Burkina. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater.